Good morning, everybody. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Mike. How you guys doing today?
It's Steeler Monday, baby. How can you not be ready to
It sure
go?
is, man. This is the one
I can't
day,
wait.
the one day, the one day that I wake up and I'm like, thank God I'm alive. Thank God I woke up and I hop right out of bed. And I thought that when I got up this morning, I thought I never, ever am in a good mood when I get out of bed. But I got to tell you guys, on Steeler, I am ready. I'm out of bed, good mood. Things are happening. Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Good morning to John on the board. He
Ooh,
is already waked and baked. Good morning to Ron on the board. How you doing, my
that's what I like
man?
to hear.
Got some a lot of things going on today. Of course, the big game tonight between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New York Giants on Monday Night Football. That game is at 8:15. The New York Giants come in with a 2-5 record. The Pittsburgh Steelers come in with a 5-2 record. Some things happened over the past 24 hours. That's good news for us, the Steeler fans. The Baltimore Ravens lose. The Cincinnati Bengals lose. Does it even matter that the Browns won? I don't think so. But there is a lot of things that we're going to go over today, guys. Getting ready for the game. We haven't been out of first place yet this season. I guess if you want to count by way of the Ravens and us being tied and they had a tiebreaker, you can do that. But technically, we haven't been out of first
Nah.
place. Um, so, guys, big game tonight. This could be huge moving forward for a lot of reasons, of course. If we could take a 6-2 record into the bye week, I think we could be sitting in pretty good shape. So let's start with the panel today. Brian from the South Park, Pittsburgh. How you doing today, man?
Wonderful.
Wonderful. He's filling in for Derpy
All right,
right now.
Derpy.
Wonderful.
I didn't pause though. There was no pause for 5 minutes.
Feeling it, Derpy?
And boom.
Oh God, Derpy and the boom. I love
Didn't have to
Derpy
pause.
when
What
he
about you,
does
Mike?
the boom.
How you doing today, man?
I'm doing great, and like Ron said, I thought I'd never be happy for the Browns. I'm happy they won.
Ain't that the
Awesome,
truth?
awesome. But I'm doing great, baby.
Good.
I am just
Guys,
flying high.
as we
Not
get
as high
started,
as John though.
the Pittsburgh Steelers, they have won. Pittsburgh Steelers have won 21 straight Monday Night Football games at home, guys. The last team to beat them in 1991 was, that's right, the New York Giants. That is the last team to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers at home on a
Ooh.
Monday night. 1991. How many ever years that was? It was a long time ago, 33 years, give or take. That game was a 23-20 loss to the Giants. They were the last team to beat the Steelers at home. Something else I seen over the weekend I didn't realize was Cam Hayward had an interception against the Giants. I don't think it was the last time they faced him. I think it was 2 times ago. But that's right, Cam Hayward dropped back into
Was
coverage
that
and the ball landed
91?
in his big meaty paws. But the
Feels like it.
guys,
Been around a while.
it's here. We got a lot of things to go over today. Some people were concerned. Good morning, Debbie. There's some a lot of concern going on here. Brian has the unicorn hairdo. Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
You got a little
I
horn.
like it. I like it.
Like a little horn. But a lot of concern, guys. A lot of people think it's going to happen next week. First day of the bye, possibly, with this wide receiver situation. Let me give you one quick, hey, good morning, Field of Steel. How you doing, man? Mike, let me give you one good
Ryan,
example.
how's your
quick.
relation to Debbie? Before
It's
we
my
go
mommy.
on. Oh,
It's my mummy.
hello, Mom.
Yeah. It's my mother.
I didn't know that. Are you
You
going to be
wanna
on your
ask her
best
any
behavior today,
questions?
Ryan?
I am going to be on my best behavior.
All right, good.
Ooh,
I'm always on my
that means
best
we
behavior.
don't have to be then. He has to be. We can act up.
But my thing about the wide receiver position is this, guys, Mike, Van Jefferson on the season. Now, mind you, we're going to be at the halfway point. The halfway point, okay? Van Jefferson at this point has 10 receptions for 77 yards. That's an okay day for a number 2 receiver. That's what he did through the first half of the season. That's an okay day for a number 2 receiver. And that's in 10 games or in 7 games for him. I'm sorry. 10 catches, 77 yards, and a touchdown. Calvin Austin, the number 3 receiver, has 11 catches, 203 yards, and a touchdown. Meanwhile, the leaders of the team, George Pickens, has 31 catches for 474 yards and a touchdown, and Pat Freiermuth with 24 catches and 245 yards and 2 touchdowns. So we got a lot to, hopefully we have a lot of things to accomplish during the off week. But before the off week gets here, guys, we do have Monday Night Football. Exciting. They're going to be with the Color Rush uniforms tonight. I think that's exciting, people. Mike, what do you think? You think we're going to win?
I think so. I think it's going to be a tougher game than a lot of Steeler fans are going to realize. This Giants defense, they've given teams trouble. You look at their stats; they're not giving up a lot of yardage, but they eventually get worn down and they lose because that offense is just god awful. But their run defense is stout. Their passing defense, I think, is one of the better ones in the league when you look by a yardage total. So I think it's going to be a little tough sledding, but I think by the second half we end up taking over. Yeah, because they're only giving up 179 yards through the air. That's pretty good secondary right there. So I think we're gonna struggle in the passing game early on. I think the run game is going to be tight because they have a really good front three, especially with Dexter Lawrence in the middle. But the floodgates will eventually open for us. Yeah, because
thank you, Ron.
like 136
so much,
yards rushing.
Greatly appreciated.
Thank you, Ron. But yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit of a struggle early on.
John says my mom must be a saint. I don't know what that means, but there you have it. A few things, guys, before we get started. Let me go over the scores from yesterday. Get us caught up to the moment. This is the kind of sort of pregame show that Brian and I and Mike do on Sunday mornings for Steeler game. However, it kind of is. It's just mixed in with our show today. It's on a Monday. Of course, we play tonight. So this is how we're going to break it down this week, guys. We do want to say to everybody, welcome this morning. This is episode 631 of the Two Dumb Yinzers. Jen says on the board, good morning. Are you ready for some football? Jen, you don't even know, man. I of course you do. But again, I popped out of bed this morning. I hopped up. I'm usually, it's very, very hesitant to get on with my day. Right out of bed I was. Here I am. There you are. Here we go. Guys, this is the scores from the weekend from the NFL. As a matter of fact, a lot of things did go in our favor. Let me start out with the game on Thursday night that we did talk about briefly Friday before we went on the weekend. The Rams did beat the Vikings going into the weekend. Guys, the Packers and Jaguars. The Packers win that game 30-27. That's an AFC loss. We'll take it. The Cardinals 28, the Dolphins 27, another AFC loss. We'll take it. The Patriots beat the Jets, guys. The Jets, guys, 5 losses in a row.
I love it.
5 losses in a row. I was afraid to play them because they were on a 3-game losing streak when we played them. Mm-hmm. But I guess the Jets are not as good as people thought they were going to be. People had them as your top teams, one of your top teams in the NFL. And I do want to say this as well, getting ready to talk about this next score. Can we please stop talking about the Ravens being the best team in the league? If I hear that one more time, I'm going to throw up everywhere. They lose to the Browns in Ravens fashion. The Browns win that football game. The Ravens drop back, giving us an opportunity to win tonight and have first place all to ourselves at 6-2, while the Ravens fell to 5-3. Of course, the game that I'm talking about was the Browns over the Ravens, 29-24 in Cleveland. And then a little bit more help from the Philadelphia Eagles as they beat the Cincinnati Bengals, 37-17. The only one that John says the Jets are Chernobyl status, they sure are. The only other
Big
one
time.
that this one here, it didn't help us, but it did help us, was the Texans over the Colts 23-20. Of course, the Colts did beat us, so if it ever comes to a tiebreaker, I'll take that loss by them. Also, the Lions beat the Titans 52-14, AFC loss. Falcons 31, the Buccaneers 26. The Chargers 26, the Saints 8. That one didn't help us. Buffalo 31, the Seahawks 10. That didn't help us. But this game here, if you've seen this, you're going to know what I'm talking about. The Bears Commanders, talking about coming down to the wire.
Man.
Hail Mary at the end of the game. caught by the Commanders. They win 18-15. The Kansas City Chiefs, surprise, surprise, they beat the Raiders 27-20. Broncos with the win 28-14 over the Panthers. And last night, the Cowboys looked like a pile of hot trash as they only lose by 6. But I got to tell you, it looked a lot worse. And playing a team that has no players available due to injury makes it even better for us. The Cowboys lose 30-24, which is always a good thing in Pittsburgh to see them Cowboys lose. Ravens missed so many interceptions, they screwed themselves. Jen said KC isn't as good as people think they are. You know what? I agree with you 100%, Ron. I was thinking about this over the weekend because I'll get to feel this too in a second. Because you're watching the Kansas City Chiefs. They don't dominate anybody. They're not. You're not blown away by their play. They basically play the same game that every other team in the NFL plays, except when it comes down to it, things seem to go their way. So I guess that might be a story for a whole different day. Good morning to Ralph on the board. But listen, guys, we got Monday Night Football tonight. It's game day. 21 straight Monday Night Football wins at home. Color Rush uniforms. That place is going to be packed. It's going to be exciting. A lot of things going on. Ron says team that looks great is the Lions. Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more.
They might be the best in the NFL.
They are the best in the NFC, at least. Kansas City, I just think that the AFC is just overall strong. You're probably going to – it's going to take a team like Detroit to get there from the NFC, which I think that's probably going to be the team. Or maybe, guys, somebody from the NFC North. I think that's a pretty strong division as well. But Kansas City, I think that the NFL loves Patrick Mahomes as the face of the league. And I understand. Don't get me wrong. I get it. He's going to be the face for quite a few years in this league. Sing it, Mike. Freak like me. I don't know what it means. I don't get it, but there you go, Mike.
You wish you could be a freak like me. That's all I got. That's all I know from that song. Freak like me. I don't know. I don't know. You're not going to hear me singing.
Yeah, that was really good, Mike.
Yeah. That's the best we're going to get.
Hey, fellas, a quick Ryan reminds me of Uncle Jesse of the Dukes of Hazzard, and Mike reminds me of Kyle on Wild Hogs. I'm sorry, Wild Hogs.
Yeah, hey, if I look like Kyle Gass, I will take it if I can only have his talent or money.
Crazy Cooter. Brian looks like Crazy Cooter. If Crazy Cooter and a unicorn reproduced, there you go, right below me in the picture. God. But guys, Giants, Brian, I'm going to come to you, my man. What are you expecting to see out of this game tonight? You got a 2-5 team coming to town. Does the Steelers win this in convincing fashion like they have the past 2 weeks, or does this turn into, a possible trap game? Do you expect anything other than what the general consensus is saying, which I think is pretty much the Steelers are going to whoop this team up? And the Steelers just generally don't do that. What do you think, bro?
No, not right off the bat. I think it's going to be a game that's closely contested through at least halfway through the third quarter. I think the first half is going to be boring, as most Steelers games are. Mike Tomlin likes it that way. I do have a prediction. Should I save it for later? And it's not about the score or anything, but it has to do with that.
I don't know. It depends. It depends on what it is. What's your prediction?
My prediction is Chris Boswell will not kick a field goal today.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yes.
I don't know where that's coming from, but I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I guess it could be a good thing, right?
I hope that is a good thing.
Ralph on the board says, hello, Brian. It's been a few. Ralph says, I am the ZZ Top of YouTube.
Oh, shit.
Ron Navy as well. Field goals.
That's a good bet.
So, yeah, I guess it is a pretty good bet. But guys, let me get over onto the injuries real quick. We'll knock out these injuries, and we'll get into it. Of course, we lost Justin Fields possibly the other day on his day off. Somehow he managed to get injured. Well, it was during practice. But we don't know if Justin Fields is going to be available tonight. He's questionable right now with the hamstring. On the latest game status list, looks like this. Justin Fields is questionable with the hammy. Roman Wilson is out with the hammy. Matakevich still out with the hammy. Nick Herbig still out with the hammy. Zach Frazier still out with the foot. Dylan Cook out with the foot. And Cordell Patterson out also with an ankle. The latest I saw this week at practice, Cam Hayward did not practice because he needed his rest again. This guy gets a lot of rest. He gets a lot of rest.
Well, he's old. He's old. He needs it.
I guess.
When you get to that age, you know how it is.
He was full practice. And then Keanu Benton also full practice. So, I mean, we're as healthy as we can be, guys. We're looking to get Corey Trice back soon. We're looking to get Frazier back pretty soon. Hopefully over the bye week, we'll be able to get some people back, get them healthy, and get ready for the second half of the season, because the second half starts strong, guys. Whenever the Steelers play the Washington Commanders in a couple weeks, that's when it all starts. Listen, we got who else, Mike? And we got Cam Sutton coming back. Cam Sutton's coming back.
Yeah, he's back next week too. Yeah.
So there's a lot of things going on. A lot of things possibly moving in our favor moving forward. And again, after that, we still haven't played any division games, guys. We'll be 6-2 if we win. That's a big, I'm sorry, we could be 5-3. You're absolutely right, but we could be 6-2. Start getting our people healthy. We got a couple weeks to get ready, prepare for the second half of the schedule. Don't you wish you could make his money for resting? Absolutely, Ron. What a crazy situation, I guess. But yeah, Mike, that's like you. You rest every day and you get paid.
Well, yeah. I deserve it, unlike Cam Hayward. I have won championships, unlike Cam Hayward.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. In Madden, I won championships.
Oh, well, yeah. And he did win that college football championship, too. And Mike put it on rookie. You remember that?
Freshman. Rookie on Madden. Because I'm old. Yeah. If I'm playing a video game, I'm taking the easy route, baby.
That's right. John also says the last time Ryan did the tube Snake Boogie was in 1987. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the tube Snake Boogie, but I could do the running man with the best of them, let me tell you. This game, guys, also, as I mentioned around the division, the Ravens did lose. That's a good thing. And also the Bengals lose. Mike, what's the keys to winning this football game for the Steelers?
Let's go with control Dexter Lawrence up the middle. I don't want this guy to wreck the game. He already has leads the league in sacks, right? Yeah, he has 9 sacks.
Yeah, he has like
I think
9.
that's still lead. Yeah, 9 sacks in 7 games as a nose tackle in the 3-4. Get out of here. We got to keep him under control. Offense, don't let Malik Neighbors beat you deep. He leads their team in yards, catches, touchdowns. He has 7 touchdowns. Danny Dimes sucks, but my God, you have someone with Malik Neighbors' speed. He can blow the top of your defense. They hit 1 or 2 of those. Next thing you know, this team can get some confidence. They start breaking off some runs because now we're playing the deep ball. No. Control Malik Neighbors, and then you do that, you can control their run game. Their running game is terrible. Their quarterback is terrible. For me, it comes down to 2 guys. You control Malik Neighbors. You control Dexter Lawrence. You're going to win this game. Be patient in the passing game because, like I said, they have numbers-wise, their secondary is a top 5 in the league. For me, I'm leaning on Najee. Get him going. Then that's going to open up the play action, which Russ was killing it last week. And then go from there. Play smart, patient football. The next thing you know, you're going to look up. You're going to be having 27, 28 points up on these guys by the end of the game.
Also, Mike, I just saw this note. It's possible. I don't know if it's full through, but the Giants could be without both of their starting offensive tackles.
I didn't see anything about that because I'm
reading it right now. The
that would be
without both offensive tackles. Listen, I'm not scared of Neighbors. I'm not scared of Lawrence. Listen, we have a pretty good team. They don't. They're a bad team. And if they have one good guy on defense and one good guy on offense, I'm not scared of that. We'll find a way to shut down the rookie Neighbors, and we'll find out a way to, if it comes down to, we're not going to let Dexter Lawrence beat us. Brian, what's your keys to winning this football game?
I think that the Steelers probably need to score more points than the Giants.
See, this is why I love having you on. This is why I love having you on. So that would be the
Right?
key then? You think, all right.
I mean, that's the major key.
There's minor obviously.
Keys. Yeah.
Oh my God! Get the hell out of here with this guy.
The major key to winning
Also
the game is
running
Najee
back.
Harris. Najee Harris dominating the ball, just running it, and then, like you said, some play action, and Russell Wilson making some key throws, and probably Van Jefferson catching about 5 to 10 balls tonight.
Ooh, going with Van Jefferson having a breakout game.
Mm-hmm.
See, I think this is the game that breaks the Steelers' spirits with Van Jefferson again. Through a half a season, guys, 10 catches, 77 yards, 1 touchdown. Again, that is a decent day for a number 2 receiver. That was the whole beginning part of the season.
In his defense, Ryan, he's had a running back play quarterback for all but one game.
However, George Pickens managed to get 31 catches, 474 yards. Pat Freiermuth managed to get 24 catches, 245 yards, 2 touchdowns. There's no excuse for our number 2 receiver to lack this much production, guys. And even the number 3, and even the number 3
can I get a counter to that?
And even the number 3 receiver, guys, 11 catches, 203 yards. Van Jefferson is not that guy.
George Pickens has not been open once all season, and he has all those catches, so they're just throwing him the ball anyway. They see Jefferson, he might be covered. They don't throw him the ball.
Yeah,
that's all
Jefferson has been targeted 16 times and has 10 catches on those 16. That's not bad right there.
He should have 2 TDs last week. He got tripped in the end zone.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is he didn't. And if he gets nothing tonight, we could be at the halfway point, and this guy has 10 catches. That's not good on any level, I don't think, especially if you want to get to the playoffs and win a playoff game. Those are the kind of things that I feel that you do need to improve. There is some name that did pop up this week, and it happens every week when we place a team, because now we are looking at the receivers on their teams. A name that did pop up this week was Darius Slade. This wide receiver is a possible number 2 for the Steelers at the trade deadline. But everything that I'm seeing, guys, it indicates if anything happens, it will happen during the bye week, because, of course, 1 week from tomorrow will be the trade deadline. So we got about 7-8 days, guys, to see if we are going to fill that position, or if we're just going to make this run that we want to have with what we have. I don't think that's a good idea, but that's just my opinion, guys. Also, something to kind of go off of what Brian said, Najee Harris. I couldn't agree more. This is his numbers this season, yards per carry by quarter. In the first quarter of every game, he has an average of 3.1 yards per carry. In the second quarter of every game, he has an average of 3.5 yards per carry. In the third quarter, 4.5 yards per carry. And then in the fourth quarter, he's averaging 4.7 yards per carry. His average goes up every quarter. You keep beating on a defense. That's going to happen. And that's what you got to do. If you're a good football team, that's what we are doing. And you know what? Again, we could be sitting at 6-2 at the halfway point. I think that kind of puts us in a category as a good football team, guys.
Yeah, if you're able to, control the clock, you're usually going to end up winning the game. We've seen this formula for years in Pittsburgh, dating back to the 90s. You get that lead and you just slowly run the ball, and you break the other team's will to live. And that's what we've seen the past couple of weeks. I would say since the Raiders game. Najee just slowly taking games over, and that line taking games over in the second half. That's what we just need to do for the most part. But now you have Russ in there, and let's start throwing more deep balls. I want to see at least.
I like his play action too, Mike.
I love the play action. I want some more deep balls coming out of the play action this week. Just ride Najee, man, until the wheels fall off, man. Screw him. Just run him till he can't run no more. Then you put Warren in, run him till he can't run no more. Then you hit the play action. Just beat this team down tonight, because you're going to score points.
John, let me catch up a little bit. It says run it to help block. Absolutely. Wilson will be rolling out of the pocket to escape from pressure. I couldn't agree with you more. That seems to be what's the norm with this offensive line, at least at this point, anyway. Ron Neighbors, or I'm sorry, Ron Neighbors. I'm reading two different. Ron Navy says the unicorn wisdom. I suppose that's probably going back to Brian when he was commenting the unicorn wisdom. I like that. Ron says I think Warren will have a breakout game, have a touchdown if not two.
That would be nice.
Fearless still says expectations for tonight: 550 total yards of offense and 49 points. Boy, would that be amazing.
I love the way Field the Steel, just gasses
Love
up the
the
Steelers.
optimism.
I love it, man.
Absolutely. Ralph is saying
5 TDs, baby.
Ralph is saying 56-7. 56-7. He's predicting. It's in the Steelers' favor. Nothing will happen at wide receiver. We can't piss off Pickens. Yeah. Hit my picks yesterday for $1,156 on Underdog. Hit last week for $1,400. Look at Ron.
Ron's killing it.
And then also Ron, adopt me. Yes, that's what John says. And
me too.
The mediator also says me too.
Bring me over, I think John and I would be great sons to have around.
Great sons?
Great sons, yeah.
No, I don't know
great
about
adopted
that.
Kids, yeah.
Mike still shits himself. I've seen it.
Also,
Mike also, to get this, I think another thing that's kind of impressive is Deshaun Elliott. He's grading out at a 91.3, which is first in run defense this year. As far as, I guess. Yeah.
This guy's been a revelation. He's been one of the best free agent signings the Steelers have had in their history. For me, he's right up there with James Farrier. Just the way that, when we signed Potsy, he just that middle linebacker for 10 years, it felt like he was that guy in the middle. I think Deshaun Elliott can be that guy in the secondary, be a cornerstone for the next 5 years. Dude's a beast, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Let me ask you, seriously, all jokes aside, Mike, Brian. And yeah, I get it. It's any given Sunday. Anybody could beat anybody. You've seen it yesterday with the Ravens and the Browns. But listen, I've seen a million Steeler games just as you have. So
listen.
I understand how this could go bad. I really feel that I think the Steelers are going to win. I feel confident. I feel optimistic. Do you guys have any feel to this game, or Ian's kind of at that point where you're just like, oh, I mean, we can lose if you play down to the level. What do you guys feel about this game? Any gut feeling?
Can I go first while he has his jawbreaker or whatever he put in his mouth?
Yeah. My Snickers. Go ahead. Yeah. I don't want to yell at Ryan, so I'm eating Snickers.
Not going anywhere for a while, huh, Mike?
Yep.
There's no way the Steelers can lose this game. There's absolutely no way the Steelers can lose this game unless the Steelers have self-inflicting wounds.
Yeah.
And multiple ones, not just one or two, but like 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe Tomlin runs on the field and tries to trip somebody returning a kick.
He forgot where he was. He was looking at the Jumbotron. It happens. He lost tactical awareness. I see no way the Steelers lose this game unless, like Brian said, self-inflicted wounds. And I don't see that happening, especially on a primetime game, a Monday night game like this. For some reason, the Steelers, no matter how good or how bad they are always ready to go on Monday night and Sunday night. So I don't see that changing. I see an ass whooping coming. That's how confident I am.
That's what's scary to me. The fact that everybody thinks this. Time.
Yeah.
And generally most Steeler fans, it's always like, we're going to win.
We're all anxious. Yeah.
But, this kind of game, it's a tricky one. It's scary because this team is so bad. And it's making me nervous that everybody has that same opinion. But I think we're going to be okay. I think we win this one. Ron says like they had Cowboys. We had definitely let that. Yeah.
Outlier. That's an outlier.
And also, I'm just not spoiled, fellas, as TJ Watt defense does, the Steelers do, regardless who's quarterback. I mean, it is going to be Danny Dimes tonight, right? There's no, Mike,
It's Danny Dimes.
It's Danny Dimes.
Aren't they having that Italian guy play, though, too?
Danny DeVito.
I don't know. He's listed. Last I saw on there,
he's like their emergency quarterback.
Yeah, I don't want to face Danny DeVito. He ended up
wasn't he in Taxi?
Yes. And he's also in the New Jersey Mike's commercials as well. No, but this dude, I don't want to play him. Remember, he ended up getting some wins last year. I want to play Danny Dimes. This dude stinks. I seen him trip over his own feet. Remember, you guys see that highlight where he's running, he's like 50 yards ahead of everybody, he trips over his own feet. I want Danny Dimes. Guys, it is the halfway point, so it is time to get into the over or under for tonight's game. Today, we do have the host of One Man's Opinion on Sports with Brian Pasquale. Brian Pasquale right here with us today. Derpy is not in the house, so Brian is going to step in and do over or under for Derpy. Mike, you know the rules. Here we go. Mike, I'll start with you.
Mm-hmm.
Does Russell Wilson, for touchdowns thrown, Russell Wilson 1.5 touchdowns thrown, over or under, Mike?
Well, I am taking the over big time. Look for Van Jefferson to have at least 4.
All right, over to
But
you.
no, Russ is taking the over. Yes, yeah.
Brian, over to you. Over or under? Russell Wilson 1.5 touchdowns thrown.
Under. Definitely under. 1 touchdown. I think Najee Harris and the running game are going to have the bulk of the touchdowns.
John said Danny Wooden Nichols. I you know what? I tend to agree with Brian, but I want to see more. I want to see what Mike's saying. So it just feels like this is kind of where the Steelers are. We're going to win. We're going to do our thing, but it's just not going to be great yet. But that's where I'm at. I think I hope I'm wrong. Russell Wilson, let's get more than that. I say 1 touchdown pass. Also, Najee Harris, Mike. Najee Harris, a half a touchdown run. Does he get a touchdown or not on the ground today?
Oh, yeah, I'm taking the over on that one.
Brian, I think you answered that on your last one. Half a touchdown, Najee. Over?
Yeah, Najee over.
Okay. George Pickens. I'm going to come to Brian on this one first. Pickens, 5.5 catches. 5.5 catches by Pickens tonight. Over or under?
Under. He's going to drop like 3 or 4 because he's not open and it's in high traffic. But he'll make a couple highlight ones. Under.
Oh. See, we need somebody in the middle because George Pickens he's one of these kind of he's a big play receiver. We don't have anybody in between that and a Van Jefferson. We need somebody with a talent level in between that. Yes, Pat Freiermuth, but again, he's your tight end. I want another receiver that's somewhere in the middle of of George Pickens and Van Jefferson. Mike, I'm going to come to you. George Pickens, 5.5 touchdowns or 5.5 catches. I'm sorry, over or under?
I'm going to take the under. I think George's max this year is going to be about 4 catches a game.
All right. Brian, I'm going to come back to you. Pat Freiermuth, a half a touchdown. Is he going to score a touchdown tonight or no?
Under.
All right. Mike, over to you. Pat Freiermuth, over or under? Half a touchdown.
It was National Tight End Day last week. I think he carries it over, and he gets the over. He gets a touchdown.
To fill the steal, I just want to address what he said. Calvin Austin, question mark. One more time, Van Jefferson has 10 catches, 77 yards. Calvin Austin has 11 catches, 200 yards. Technically, he is in between the two, but I'd like to get a little bit more results than what we're getting from Calvin Austin. Even if you would get Calvin Austin more involved, I'm not saying go out and get somebody over him. Just get him
if
more
only the
involved.
Steelers drafted a wide receiver from Michigan and he played.
Yeah.
Be
on,
healthy.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, too. Mike, I'm going to come to you on this one. Chris Boswell, 2.5 field goals this game. Over or under?
I'm
Mike?
taking the under.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Brian?
If he has that many, I'm going to
There's my derpy.
All right. There's So you're going under as well.
0 field goals for the first time in a long time.
All right. Brian, offensive turnovers committed by the Steelers, 1.5. 1.5 turnovers committed by the Steelers offense. Over or under?
I see a fumble by the running backs, whether it's Warren or Harris, and I see a pick by Russell Wilson, so I'm going to go with over.
You know what's crazy, too? With all this situation and, not really having an identity till, like, literally last week, we only thrown 1 interception this year. Just 1.
Yeah.
And it was a batted around ball.
wood.
It's, crazy, man. That's what kind of makes me think that we're due.
Yeah. Right.
Mike, over or under 1.5 turnovers by this offense?
I'm taking the over. I think we are due for some turnovers, but we battle back through them.
All right, guys, let's hop over to the defensive side of the ball. Mike, same question, but on the other side, does the defense cause 2.5 turnovers? Over or under?
Ooh, that'd be 3. I'm gonna take the under. I think we get 2 picks.
All right, Brian, same question to you. Defensive turnovers, 2.5. over or under?
2.5. Oh boy, I'm gonna go with 3.
Okay. So that would be over, right?
Wow.
By my math.
Guys, TJ Watt, a half sack. Over,
I'm,
under, push. What do you guys think? TJ Watt's a half sack. What do you
I'm
think,
taking
Mike?
the over. I'm taking the over.
Think he gets at least a sack?
Yep.
Brian, what about you, man? Over,
I'm
under
gonna
on a half
I'm gonna
sack?
say that he's gonna get 2 sacks, and they're gonna be on either first or second down. And on third down, the Giants are gonna get the first down or touchdown after the sacks anyway.
All right.
It's a long way of saying Watt did his job and the other 10 guys didn't.
Not on third down.
Cam Hayward, guys, he did have an interception against the New York Giants many years ago. But tonight, Brian, does he 2.5 tackles? Does he have over or under 2.5
So that would mean
tackles?
he'd have to fall on somebody 5 times to get 2.5 tackles. I'm going to go with
Basically.
under. I think he's going to fall like 3.5 times on somebody.
Okay. Mike, Cam Hayward, 2.5 tackles, over or
I'm
under?
taking the over. Cam Hayward, I don't know what you guys have been saying for the past 3 years on this show. Cam Hayward is a Steeler legend, has always played at a high level, has always shown up in the playoffs, unlike some outside linebacker who hogs all the glory. Cam Hayward, our glorious
somebody shut him down.
Hall of Future first ballot Hall of Famer, will have 5 tackles tonight.
Wow.
Listen to this guy.
Greatest Steeler of all time, better than Mean Joe Green.
And here we go. Brian, Beanie
But I take it
Bishop.
too far.
How do I follow that?
Beanie Bishop, Brian, a half of an interception. Beanie Bishop, Brian, a half. Oh, come on with this.
And it's going the wrong way too, like typical West Virginians. Doesn't have his camera.
So you think? Look at this. Oh, what do you think? A half interception? Does he get one or no?
No,
I guess
no. 2 was. I mean, he'll probably finish the season with 2.
You're right. Mike, Beanie Bishop, a half a pick, under or over?
I'm taking the under, but I think he has some pass breakups.
All right, and finally, guys, the one dreaded over under that we've been fighting for the past 2 seasons. Of course, on this show last year, we've seen this kind of develop. Significant injuries, guys. One half of a significant injury, which again would be any starter going down for more than the game, being not being able to come back. Anybody that we lose for the season, anything like a significant injury. Mike, one half, over or under in the game tonight? Do we lose somebody of significance?
We do, because it's been happening every single game.
I've never seen so many injuries in my life like I've seen in the NFL this year. This is unbelievable. And it's not just us. It's around the league. It really is, man.
Yeah.
Brian?
I don't know what the over-under question was, but we're going to at least have 3 major injuries, and it's going to be very unfortunate.
Okay. So more than a half. Nah, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that.
I know.
Brian, what's your prediction on this game for tonight?
The score?
Yeah.
Okay. I have the Pittsburgh Steelers 21. That's 3 touchdowns, no field goals. And the New York Football Giants 15. And I want to say it's like a late touchdown to kind of make it seem closer than it was.
Okay. Mike, I know you predict yours for the picks the other day, but just give us a fresh pick Monday morning game day.
Yeah.
What do you give us a prediction?
I have the Steelers winning this one handedly. I have them putting up 35 points and giving up a lowly 14.
I say 29-10. It's going to be 29-3 through most of the game. As Brian said, it's going to be a late touchdown when it doesn't matter in trash time. And that will be my prediction. It'll be 29-10 for the game tonight. I feel we still got a Steelers 100, Giants 3. Well, it'll be a happy Victory Tuesday if that is the case, right, guys?
If that would happen, I guarantee you we lose every single game the rest of the way.
Why can't we just shut them out, though? You know?
I know. Why is it going to be the 3? Well, maybe it's a late. Maybe it's a trash point.
Because TJ Watt finally came off the field, and Cam Hayward came off the field, and the rest of those bums couldn't live up to the hype.
Ron says 34-13. Again, guys, the Pittsburgh Steelers won 21 straight Monday Night Football games at home. Their last loss was 1991 against the New York Giants, 23-20. That was the last time the Pittsburgh Steelers lost a Monday Night Football game at home. Unbelievable, actually. Come on, that's pretty crazy. But, dude, make sure tomorrow you do join in because Mike and Derpy, they are coming down to the wire in the picks for the week. Mike and Derpy have tied all the way to this point. Well, they tied by different games. And it's going to come down to the tiebreaker because the rest of their picks, Mike Derpy's picks tomorrow. See who pulls it off. Derpy is up 5-2 in the season picks so far. Mike, it's going to come down to the tiebreakers. And you, my friend, you have about 40 something points, I believe, is on your tiebreaker. Derpy's is I think you're 44, and I think he's 38 or something like that. So it's really close. Yeah. But the winner will be by tiebreaker in the picks this week. So good luck. Jen says if they get over 19, it'll be the first time since 2007 that they scored 3 consecutive games with over 19. Wow, interesting. I didn't know that. Wow. Over 19, guys.
Ben all those years? Holy crap.
I know. And that's mind-blowing.
Ben couldn't do it all himself. Okay, he had Mr. CTE and CTE Jr. on that team, okay? You never knew which one of those guys was showing up. Or you didn't know if Ben was going to throw 5 interceptions that
game. I don't know.
No.
All I know is that's crazy.
That is a wild stat.
Wow.
Yeah, like you said, man, all that talent on all those teams. Whew.
Guys, let's drop down a level. Let's go over some college football. Briefly, we got to go over some stuff here. Pitt Panthers, they played on Thursday. Of course, they beat Syracuse 41-13. They move up to number 18 this week. They have a big game on Saturday night against SMU, who comes into the game at 20. That game is down there in Dallas. SMU escapes narrowly Duke 28-27 in overtime. That is our next opponent. It'll be SMU. Mike, the big game this weekend is going to be between the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Penn State Nittany Lions after both teams winning over the weekend. The Penn State Nittany Lions keeping their record undefeated. They are number 3. They beat the Wisconsin Badgers 28-13. And Ohio State, who's number 4, who's 6-1 at this time, they beat Nebraska 21-17. Big game, noon, Saturday, Ohio State Buckeyes and Penn State Nittany Lions. You feeling okay about this? The thing is, Mike, I wouldn't feel bad because I don't think Ohio State looks that great this year. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think Penn State's necessarily blowing the roofs off the building as well. But I think this could make for an interesting game between those two teams in the Big Ten.
Yeah, if Penn State keeps it close at halftime, for some reason, they are a second half team. They come out firing on offense and defense after halftime. They're a completely different team. Our starting quarterback, he didn't play the second half. He had a brace on his knee. A backup quarterback came in and let us down. But I don't know if we're going to be able to win this game if Drew Perbola has to play the entire game. And if we start slow, I don't think we're going to win this game. It's going to be a tough matchup. Ohio State, Penn State's always tough. I think Ohio State ekes out the win. I think Penn State is way too overrated this year, being ranked number 3. If you're just basing us off the second half, yeah. And like Ron said, Franklin, he loses these big games. You know,
I agree, but like I said,
normally
this
Ohio
State team is not impressive like they have been in the past. They're narrowly escaping Nebraska. They lose the last game. I mean, I'm not. This is definitely isn't the same Ohio State team. I think if Penn State has a chance, it would be in this kind of season when Ohio State. I mean, come on, talk about overrated. Seeing them at 4, I don't see it, but we will see this weekend, guys. Noon, Ohio State at Happy Valley. Mike, that might work into your advantage to help you get the win being at home.
At home, but it should be the 8:00 game. It should be the whiteout game. That's what Penn State, Ohio State should be. But this contract they have with Fox can pick whatever game they want for their big noon, and they pick this one. You ruin the college atmosphere. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it. If it was an 8:00 game where our fans were just liquored up, ready to go, making a hostile environment, I think we win. But noon o'clock game, I think we get blown out the water.
Brian's West Virginia, they beat Arizona yesterday
Oh,
I'm
no.
sorry, on Saturday, 31-26. West Virginia is 4-4. They play 5-3 at Cincinnati this coming weekend. Also, a couple other big games in college. Number 1, Oregon beats number 20, Illinois, 38-9. Number 5, Texas beats number 25, Vanderbilt, 27-24. Number 8, LSU falls to number 14, Texas A&M, 38-23. Number 12, Notre Dame beats number 24, Navy, 51-14. And finally, Alabama at number 15, they beat number 21, Missouri, 34-0 in that game. More than halfway through the college football season, guys. I know Pitt has 5 games, all in November. They play number 20 SMU next on the road, come home to play Virginia, then at home against number 11 Clemson, then on the road for Louisville, and then on the road for Boston College. I think we have a pretty decent chance to finish with a nice record this year in the ACC. So we will see a big game, though, coming up this Saturday night against SMU in Dallas. Mike, your Pittsburgh Penguins, they I don't know what in the world they have going on for them. I think they lost about 5 or 6 in a row.
I think they know what they have going on right now.
They are about a 5 or 6 game losing streak. They have they lost on Friday 4-0 to the Oilers. They lost on Saturday 4-3 to the Canucks. The Penguins now sit at 3-6-1. Next game is Marc-Andre Fleury and the Minnesota Wild coming to town tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. The Wild coming with a 5-1-2 record. Mike, this team, what do you do with this team right now? What do they do? What's the next step?
There's nothing they can do. You have to see if you can get anyone dumb enough to take Jari's salary. See what you can flip Marcus Pettersson for, and that's about it. Because your top 3 in Carlson all have no trade clause, no movement clause, so we are stuck with them right now. And so you can't rebuild with those guys, even if they, you can trade like 3 guys on this team and see what you can get back. This is what the fans wanted. This is what ownership wanted. Dubas is trying to do his best by, making this team somewhat competitive and getting assets for the future when these guys are all gone. So enjoy it while you can, Penguins fans. This is what you wanted. This is what you get.
Go to the other football. The Pittsburgh Riverhounds, they get the win this week 2-0 over the El Paso Locomotive FC. They get back at it on Saturday. Battery. Baseball, the Major League World Series, guys. The Dodgers are up 2-0 on the Yankees. Game 3 and 4 tonight and tomorrow. Both 8:08 starts in the Bronx. Ohtani partially dislocates his shoulder in Game 2. Questionable if he's going to play tonight. Does this make this Ohtani injury? Does this make enough difference for the Yankees to get back in this thing, especially now that they are at home? Does this thing change around at all, Brian?
They're still playing baseball?
Exactly.
Dude, it's so pathetic. Literally every Yankees game has been decided by somebody on steroids hitting a home run late in the game, and everybody's like, "It's great, it's great," and I'm
It
like,
is.
Yeah.
"How's it great, Mike?"
Because I want to see home runs and strikeouts. Give me these guys juice to the max. Everyone knows everyone's juicing, so let's do it, man. Hank Aaron, no one had a problem when Hank Aaron was popped up on greenies hitting all those home runs, allegedly.
I don't know. $600 million is in the World Series, and the Pirates spend like $20.
Yeah.
Cheapskate owner.
Get on. And then also the high school playoffs do start this week. A lot of big games coming up this weekend. But guys, before we get to the last segment, I'm going to give you guys both 60 seconds. 60 seconds. I'm going to start with Brian. Brian, I do know that there's a little bit of a debate between the two of you. I wanted to do a full episode. Maybe we still will. But I'm going to give you 60 seconds, Brian. The debate is TJ Watt. Mike is always a yes for TJ. Brian, you're always a no for TJ. Give me a good argument for both sides. Brian, I'm going to start with you. In a TJ Watt debate. This is a mini debate. Again, we could do a whole one if this one goes well. But Brian, what is it about TJ that just isn't that for you?
All right, so he's too small to play the position that he plays. When he was drafted, Mel Kiper Mel Kiper said TJ Watt's going to get eaten alive by offensive linemen. TJ Watt is on television quoted as saying, I'm just a little guy. I'm too small. Now, I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he's not a great player. I am saying that he is forced to rely on his speed, and the only way he can get to the quarterback is that outside move off the right shoulder of the right tackle or tight end, depending on who's. And his weakness is in the run game. He leaves the C and the D gaps wide open every time because he runs upfield 8 to 10 yards and then works his way back to the quarterback. We saw the Steelers lose to the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, we saw the Steelers lose to the Dallas Cowboys because on their first touchdown, Watt ran upfield 8 to 10 yards. Dak Prescott just jogged right over where Watt should be
that is
and
your
threw a
1
touchdown.
Minute. All right, he got a pretty good argument at Mike. Pretty good.
I feel like I was interrupted twice though too.
Mike, 60 seconds. Why is TJ Watt the man?
TJ Watt's the man because he has led the NFL in sacks since 2016, and he has not been in the league. He's only been in the league since 2017. He's a game wrecker. He had a couple years there where after he won his Defensive Player of the Year where he stopped playing the run. This year we were seeing him sacrifice playing the run, eating up double teams, sacrificing himself for the team. He will drop back into coverage. We've seen him play the pass, play the zone. This guy, he may only have one pass rush move, but guess what? It works. He wrecks games. This guy is a beast. He's an animal. It's not the size of the dog. It's the size of the fight in the dog. I don't care if he's undersized. James Harrison was undersized, and, he was a pretty good outside linebacker as well. TJ Watt, man, he's the best edge rusher in the NFL. The game film speaks for itself. Yeah, he had the 2-3 year period where he wasn't in the run game. And, when you talk about how wide he plays out, it's called the wide 9 technique.
You guys both make a good argument. And I think that this is a fun debate because you know what? Both of these guys have a good argument. If you are interested in seeing these two go at it in a full debate, again, this was just a small clip of what it would be. 60 seconds for both men. The TJ Watt debate, guys. If you guys want to see more, if you would like to see this in a larger scale, just put it let it be known on the board, and we will certainly make that happen moving forward. Again, I didn't want to do it and bore everybody, but I think it could be a lot of fun again with the guys, and they both again put some pretty good arguments out. So again, if you'd like to see that in its entirety, a full debate between these two, I think it could be a lot of fun. Just let us know, and if not, we won't. You know what? Let me get to the board for 1 second here. TJ needs more chicken breast and broccoli. Yeah, all right. The Steelers did not lose to the Cowboys because of what? Get out of here with that. 90 makes plays, period. And then finally, Brian, did you listen? It's all right because yins are debating. They're allowed to decide on their own. That's why you give your argument. And finally, Brian, did you play? That's what one of Fearless Steel did ask. Was the last question. Did you play football?
I know that Michael Jordan played basketball and then he became an owner and had no idea what he was doing. So I don't understand that argument.
Wait, what's your argument? Did you play football?
The point is people think that because you play, you know what you're doing or you don't do. Michael Jordan was the greatest basketball player of all time, became an owner and had no idea how to evaluate talent and assemble a team. So that argument's just foolish. Sorry, Fearless Seal.
Did you play football? I'm asking you as a friend. Did you? I don't even know. Did you play football?
I lettered in 4 sports in high school and won 5 section championships.
Was one of them football?
No.
Okay. Listen, I did listen. Because I do know that he was a really good basketball player. Listen, it's getting confusing because I know that Brian was a really good basketball player.
Yeah. You caused Ryan to freeze.
Good track as well. I do know these things, and I do know that he had mentioned that he played multiple. So I do know that you did play.
I could have if I wanted to. I did.
Sports. Okay, I just didn't know. Okay, good enough. I don't think
if I did, I would have been the quarterback and the defensive back. Just saying.
You know what the funny thing is though? I could have done another minute arguing Brian's point too about TJ Watt. I go back and forth on Watt all the time.
The thing about Mike is he plays devil's advocate no matter what you talk about. So no matter what the argument, he'll always take the other side.
Well, yeah, and that's why that way I know how to argue my point. You gotta know the opposition. You know,
Mike, why
what's
don't you
that? Sun
argue
Tzu?
the point of telling people about the website?
Oh, damn it, you're no fun. The2dumbyinjers.com. Head on over to the2dumbyinjers.com. We got links to all of our social media. We got the merch store. We got the blog up there, all at the2dumbyinjers.com. And I cannot say this while I read the comments. Y'all cracking me up.
I know. John says I want to see those two sumo wrestle in
Yeah.
terrible towel loincloths. I want to see that too. Maybe that's what we'll do.
P. Morton's correct on the board, by the way.
What did P say? What did P say? His mom wouldn't let him. Probably a good idea. Is that your mom didn't let you?
She would not let me play football.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I would have been.
Listen,
honestly, Ryan,
nobody,
I would have been.
listen, no,
I would have been the starting quarterback my junior and senior year
nobody's
if I
giving
played.
you shit. Nobody's giving you. I just didn't know. Like you said, I mean, you played a lot of sports. I know you were good in basketball. I know track. I was just questioning. I didn't know. But guys, it is time for the trivia of the day. Trivia question of the day. This is the last New York Giants trivia.
Thank
Of course,
God.
the Steelers do play tonight. Monday Night Football. Color rush uniforms. Giants come to town. 8:15 game starts. Guys, this is the question of the day. This century, the Giants had been to 3 Super Bowls. They're 2-1 in those 3 Super Bowls. Tom Coughlin was the head coach in both Super Bowls versus the Patriots. But I need you to tell me, guys, who was the head coach of the Giants when they played the Ravens back in 2000? I need that head coach, guys. They played in 3 since 2000. Tom Coughlin coached in both of the Patriots Super Bowls. I need the head coach for the Giants when they played the Baltimore Ravens.
Is this a true or false?
No, I need a name. But guys, think that over.
Well,
We're
then
live,
let Mike go
5 days
first.
a week, right here, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day, right here on YouTube. Check us out. John said you lettered in chess, art, dodgeball, and chorus. Sorry about that. Question of the day, Mike. Who was that coach? Who was that Giants coach? It wasn't Tom Coughlin. It wasn't Bill Parcells. The Super Bowl against the Ravens. Who was the New York Giants head coach?
The only name coming to mind was Belichick. I don't think he coached there long enough to be their head coach. I know he's defensive on the staffs on some of those.
Belichick, is that your final answer?
Fuck it, Belichick.
All right. I'm going to mark you down as a Belichick final answer. Brian, I'm going to come over to you.
Do I get multiple choice at this point?
No derpy.
Yeah, Bill Belichick, Bill Parcells. I don't know. Listen, there was 3 Super Bowls the Giants been to. 2 of them were Tom Coughlin. This was in the 2000s. Who was the coach that coached for the Giants when they lost to the Ravens?
The San Francisco Giants or the New York Giants?
The football Giants. Some different answers on the board. P says Norv Turner. Ron Navy says Jim Fossil. What do you think?
Boy, I'll go with Fossil because those I'm either going with Turner or Fossil because those are my 2 options.
Yeah, I think it is Fossil. As soon as I saw the name, I'm like, God dang, I forgot about that guy.
All right, guys, the question of the day is this century, the Giants have been to 3 Super Bowls. Tom Coughlin was the head coach versus the New England Patriots both times. Who was the head coach of the Giants versus the Ravens? Jim Fossil. Jim Fossil is the answer, guys.
Thanks, Ron. As soon as Ron put that up, I knew that's who it was, but I didn't know until Ron put that up for sure.
He says Parcells was exiled to the Jets by 2000. Yeah, that's right. Well, Mike, anything if we start getting ready to wrap it up, man?
Yeah. Did you guys see the cornerback for the Bears taunting the fans while the Hail Mary was going on? Jaden Daniels was running around. Tyreek Stevenson's out there just hooting and hollering, yelling at the fans. And then he's the guy who tipped the ball into the receiver's hand for the game-winning touchdown. It was a great look, my man. Great look. And 2, did anyone else see Richardson up in the Colts game? He had to take a play off because he was tired. I've never seen a quarterback go, "Hey, coach, I'm tired. I need a break. Take me out of the game for a couple plays." That's one way to endear yourself to your teammates, and especially your offensive line. So, well done, you two. Well done, you two. That's all I got.
Brian, what about you, man? Anything before we get ready to take off?
Yeah, I have a few things. I'll go quick if that's all right.
Yeah, please.
Okay. One, Donald Trump's going to be at the Penn State Ohio State game up there, so I'm sure that'll draw some cheers from the fans one way or another. The other thing was, did anybody see the Wade statue they unveiled down in Miami?
No.
Oh my God.
Okay, Ryan, please Google it right now and tell me it doesn't look like Kelsey Grammer from Frasier.
Kelsey Grammer.
I'm telling you.
Give me 1 second here. Give me
Yeah, pull that up.
Mike, you pull it up.
Ryan, I mean, it's, and he was there to see the unveiling.
Who had the wee little statue? Somebody around the, what the, what is
Look at that.
Enlarge it a little bit, would you?
Let's see what I can do here. Give me 1 second.
I don't know.
Look how bad that is.
I can see the Kelsey Grammer.
It does. Oh my God! Oh my God! I can sit there, see him yelling at.
You know what it also puts me in mind of when you see the commercial for a stomach medicine or something, that the body that's always on the screen with its mouth like this, and it's all, that's what it kind of looks like to me.
Oh
is
my
that? But
God.
it's disgusting. What is that? That's a real statue.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan, it's the worst thing I've seen, and it's really bad.
Who had one that was real small? Somebody just had a statue that was presented to them, but it was a lot smaller than a normal statue.
Tiny statue. I know
who was that?
about. I can't remember. And then you got the Sean Taylor.
Was it Jim Gong Un?
You leave the glorious leader out of your mouth. But yeah, I can't remember who had the tiny statue. They had the Sean Taylor terrible statue. These statues are getting worse and worse. I love it.
Yeah, that's hideous. I don't know what the hell is going
on.
Jeez. But listen, guys, it is today's game day. Get excited. Get your terrible towels out. I know some people are at work. I know some people are just getting up. I know some people are, whatever you're doing, guys, tonight, 8:15 is the game time. Steelers hosting the New York Football Giants on Monday Night Football, 8-1-5. This is week 8. We go into a bye after this, get a little bit of time to heal before we start the second half of the season. I'm excited, guys. I think everybody on the show certainly agrees that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to win this football game tonight. We will see. I want to say thank you to everybody for coming and hanging out and checking us out today. We appreciate each and every one of you. We really, really, really do. We wouldn't do it without you. Everybody on the board, you're super awesome as always. I want to thank you so much. You guys always keep things interesting. I want to say thank you to our good friend Brian Pasquale. You see on the screen here, from One Man's Opinion on Sports with Brian Pasquale. You can catch him every Wednesday on WBVP Radio 99.3, Beaver County Radio, every Wednesday from 4 to 6, talking about all sports. Also, you can check him out on Sunday mornings. He usually runs the game day, Steelers game day pregame show. This week, of course, Monday Night Football. We did it on Monday. And also check out, subscribe to his videos. He makes these really awesome short videos, about a minute long. You will not be disappointed. He touches on a lot of things in sports that that people don't quite pick up on. It's a lot of detailed work in his videos. Do check him out. Again, go over to One Man's Opinion on Sports with Brian Pasquale. You can do that right here on YouTube. Anywhere else, Brian? Anywhere else that you can find that at?
You can find that on
Facebook.
X.
Okay,
X.
Facebook as well.
Well, yeah. I don't understand how to do the Facebook thing yet. I am on Facebook and I have 3 people I follow, but I don't understand it. I'm working on that. So go follow me on X. I think I have about 300 followers on X right now.
All right, yeah, go check it out. Like I said, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Again, they're a minute long. What's a good heart? Go over, try them out, subscribe, all that kind of fun stuff. I think you will enjoy them. Phil still says bye, Brian, and 90 is the man. I keep getting spam political calls and texts from PA because I have an 814 number. I'm so ready for this election to be over. I'm not even playing, guys. I am so through with it. Also, Jen says, let's go Steelers. Phil Steel says, cheers to Dumb Yinzers. Also, Jen says, Monday night party. That's right, guys. Big party tonight Steelers Giants will be back tomorrow. First thing to talk about all of the game, all the details of the game, and everything moving forward. What's P say? I have a Vegas Skype number. I get the occasional older lady trying to call Spectrum Cable. But hey, guys, I hope everyone enjoys themselves. I hope everybody stays safe. Enjoy the game. Let's cheer these Steelers on to victory, and we will be back tomorrow. First thing to do it all over again. Mike, Brian, speak now. Forever hold your peace, guys.
I got nothing.
Brian?
Go Derpy.
All right. Well, Derpy will be back tomorrow, guys. We'll be going over the picks and a whole lot of other stuff. So do join us tomorrow. For Brian from the One Man's Opinion on Sports, Brian Pasquale. For Mike in the Steelers Central Mobile Studio, myself, the Two Dumb Yinzers. Everybody have a great day. Go Steelers. Let's bring home the win. Join us tomorrow. We'll discuss the whole entire thing. Everybody have a great day. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.